purpose of a twin flame relationship is that they will create something together on earth. You as a soul alone could also pursue this, but the presence of the other makes it much more purposeful, grander, and more effective. It takes united strength, love, and energy. Together they are going to create something that serves humanity in whatever form. With twin souls, there is a sense of unity in all areas, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It happens that twin flames have had similar experiences in their lives prior to meeting, but that is not always the case. That is different for every soul pair. An important characteristic of twin soulship is that you are asked to approach the sphere as your pure self. Then you might think, that's easy to be myself. But nothing could be further from the truth. Your pure self without ego, as you were born in all your power and your pure state of being, is what I mean. We can gain a picture of this balanced flow by swooshing in's action in the lives of twin souls. The action is by no means always smooth, but by the law of the couture, twin souls cannot be parted, and so are co-impelled to resolve their conflicts in the quickest possible way. We can learn from them to do the same, for Awinansha for all human slindage, as we stay and make us melee. We balon and anoth. The Sufi symbol for twin sus is that of two imate locking rings that cannot be pulled apart. The two complete rings signify two individuals, whole in the medvas though interdependent within the larger whole. The great challenge for wind souls is to join in the spiritual heights where they and one, and to bridge those bagloos with their life togaher on earth, where they meet as separate button beings. If destined to join their lives in a close physical relationship, they find that normal conflicts aren't. They are twin souls, not own persons. They have different psychological backgrounds, a body of discern intenners, hubris patterns, and expectations. Emotional adpasunanes are required as with a couple, but their conflicts are solved in a special ways. These rings allow us to familiar the process. Meeting our twin flame when already married is truly a test of fire, just like our soul intended it. The omnipotent cellular level awakening we experience causes our vibration, awareness, and energy to immediately jump up a notch, or a dozen, making us acutely aware of the energetic suppression we've been living under. The soul is adamant. It wants resonance, it wants freedom, it wants union, and it wants it now. The souls magnetize each other, and we truly feel the magical universe at play through the synchronicities and signs that surround us. Maybe like many others, it is being made clear to us from within that it is time to leave our marriage, not because of the promise of a blissful union, but because our own soul demands it. The soul does not make mistakes. It knows the path it wants to follow. Many bolt out of existing relationships upon meeting their twin flame, since they can no longer find alignment with the old. The call to return to our original state of oneness is so intoxicating, and the otherworldly soul connection to the twin flame felt so strongly that staying in the old relationship becomes unbearable. Every second, every minute, we are aware of the pressure upon us to follow the call to be who we really are, at the deepest level within us. Unfortunately, as the magnetic pull reverses, signaling the start of the journey within, many find themselves returning to these old relationships, not because we fell out of love with our twin flame, but because all the hurt and disappointment we caused our partner and the other important people in our lives finally catches up with us. Subconsciously, we know there is still unfinished business. I see you trying. I think it's amazing to observe you in such a natural flow. The warmth of your presence is so nourishing to me. I appreciate you allowing me the chance to lead you, for all of your support, and for expressing yourself with an open heart. I am committed to you, my love. Thank you for sharing your radiant light in this relationship. You really have to start acknowledging who you are, beyond the face, body, and name. You were created through a soulful essence that has no boundaries or limitations. You're one of the most dynamic and intricate species on this planet, with the capacity to accomplish anything. No manifestation is beyond you, because it's all a projection of you. You are the creator of your reality. As such, you get to design which experiences you'll indulge in. Stop acting like you're not in the driver's seat. Clearing the corrupted files. The longer you are able to stay in the frequency of your true self, the clearer your frequency will be. This will eventually enable you to vibrate without the corrupted programming that you naively downloaded into your frequency during your formative years. It's okay if you feel all the emotives in a single day, the top of the roller coaster and the bottom. It's okay if something you've been struggling with gets the best of you, if a repeating thought still holds a bit of power over your emotional state. It's okay if your bottoms and low points cause you to question your direction, your purpose, and your intentions. But please remember this: it's okay that all of these things happen, because this stage of your life doesn't define the whole process. Going from broken to foeved is a journey, and feeling your scars and overcoming your shadows is all a part of the process. It's okay to accept and forgive yourself when you fall, when you repeat, and when you take a step backwards. Know that the very idea that you're aware of any of this, and you feel a desire within you to heal, to get better, and to grow, is a miraculous sign that you're on the right track. It's okay to be a little softer on yourself during all of this, because the darkest part of the night always comes before the rise of the sun. The rise of a new you. No competition to access. 100% energy, regardless of the number of human beings, energy beings in human form, that are currently present on planet Earth. everyone has equal access to 100% energy. Everyone can be in alignment. There is no scarcity. Not one single person has to fight with another person to prevent him from accessing 100% energy, as there is no shortage of 100% energy. Because there is no shortage of supply of 100% energy. Not one single person give access to 100%, so that another person is then able to access 100% energy. Person A does not have to give up his slot to access energy, so that another person can then take over his slot to access 100% energy. What puts you in a position of empowerment? Being at ease with the uncontrollable aspects of your life. Because a big part of your focus is no longer spent worrying about what comes next, and instead, applying that energy towards the things that are within your control. If the universe had been designed to be under your guidance, you'd be consistently overwhelmed, which is why it isn't. So, stop assuming that everything is your responsibility. It's not. Just focus on your level of consciousness, your truth, your happiness, your peace, and watch how all the other cards fall into alignment with the spirit of your highest good. Meeting our twin flame when already married is truly a test of fire, just like our soul intended it. The omnipotent cellular level awakening we experience cancels our vibration, awareness, and energy to immediately jump up a notch or a dozen, making us acutely aware of the energetic exoppression we've been living under. The soul is adamant. It wants resonance. It wants freedom. It wants union. And it wants it now. The souls magnetize each other, and we truly feel the magical universe at play through the synchronicities and signs that surround us. Maybe like many others, it is being made clear to us from within that it is time to leave our marriage, not because of the promise of a blissful union, but because our own soul demands it. The soul does not make mistakes. It knows the path it wants to follow. Many bolt out of existing relationships upon meeting their twin flame, since they can no longer find alignment with the old. The call to return to our original state of oneness is so intoxicating, and the otherworldly soul connection to the twin flame felt so strongly that staying in the old relationship becomes unbearable. Every second, every lost in translation. One moment, you are a spiritual giant. The next moment, you are an infant lying helplessly in your cot waiting to be fed. You cannot walk and you cannot communicate. All you could do to communicate was by crying loudly. This time, space reality has the ability to make you feel lost in translation. Do not let this time-space reality deceive and trick you. Even though you have acquired a new form, a new disguise, frequency-wise, nothing has changed. You are still a spiritual giant and will continue to be a spiritual giant as long as you continue to vibrate at the highest frequency. You were different from a very early age. A part of you already knew that there was more to life than what was being passed on to you, which is why you always felt the need to step out of line and explore more of what life could offer. In doing so, you took on tests and lessons that most others avoid. The healing and growth you've endured sent a ripple effect through your past and into your future. Be proud of the obstacles you took on. You and your life are better because of it. You need to start trusting yourself a lot more. You need to start believing in the power of your ideas, your creativity, and your ability to build and get things going for yourself. The best way to accomplish this is by taking a fresh new look at all of the things around you, all of your previous manifestations, all of your success stories. You have lots of them that you just sort of take for granted. Use them to create an army of motivation for all you've yet to accomplish for your privileged and beautiful future. You are in the middle of leveling up to another state of consciousness where your fears will become motivation. Any resentment will melt into peace, and any triggers become part of your purpose. You asked for change, and you're receiving it in the most positive light. Give yourself grace and transition through this with clarity. You will come out on the other side happier, wiser, more stable and prosperous than you've ever been. You're beginning to experience moments of joy in just about everything you do nowadays. You find yourself appreciating the little things so much more. Your perspective is expanding. The more you look at life through this general view, the less you worry, the less you stress, the more you enjoy, the more carefree you become, because you now place value on what matters as well as what affects you most. You're growing into the person you always wished you were, and it only gets better from here. You went from having a full mind to being mindful, which is why you may be juggling a lot right now, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. You're working with clarity. You're elevating through joy. You don't need to look for positive reinforcements when you're already prospering from within. You were the change you needed. You're adapting to situations better. You're taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture instead of getting warped into individual issues like you used to in the past. This is key to elevating your level of happiness and opportunities in your life. When you're not busy harping on what's unimportant, your awareness is free to focus on what is. This newly liberated space will allow you to thrive on new experiences and emotions, setting the stage for your life to open up in new ways and allow the universe to expand from within. The secret to mastery of alignment. If you do not excel at focusing only on what is right, you need to be in a bubble until you excel, so that you can focus only on the positives. If you are very steady and you can focus on the negatives without losing your connection to your true self, you're being encouraged to review, reaccess, and reset your life. Except that the old you has expired and is being called to let go of completely. You're no longer the same and shouldn't be if you're constantly evolving and welcoming change. As scary, uncertain, or confusing it may seem, the unknown asks you to surrender. What would you do differently if you knew you were supported? That nothing has gone wrong and there's a higher power guiding you that you need to lean more into. Don't try to force things to happen or force inspiration. Stay aligned and allow in the new. Type "I celebrate change" to affirm. A false identity has replaced your true identity. You continue to have problems because you have lost touch with your core self. You continue to have problems because you now believe that you are the personality self and not the core self. A false identity has replaced your true identity. Until you revert back to your true identity, you will continue to have the same attitude, the same thoughts, the same perspective, and your life will not change to another version that currently exists at a different frequency. You have no access to this version because your current frequency is not a match to this version. When your current frequency is a match to this version, your life will change. You have to keep yourself vulnerable. Keep yourself open. Because while you believe you know what's best for you, a large part of that perception is based on your conditioning. When you remain open and receptive and surrender to what the universe may throw your way, you'll wind up in awe at all the things you never knew you'd fall in love with, and paths you never imagined would open up to you. Your life was meant to be vast. You weren't built to walk in one line. Open your space and be amazed by all that life has in store for you. Even though your body, mind, and soul are interconnected as one, they can still be maneuvered separately. This means that if the body is doing one thing, the mind can be doing another. This is helpful to remember when there is a lot going on around you. Allow your physical self to do what's necessary for the course of your day. But your mind and spirit can remain in a rested position, as if you never left meditation or bed. Since your body feeds off your mind and soul, things will become more easily accomplished in your day. Freedom is both a social circumstance and personal mindset. True freedom provides the conditions necessary to choose one's own way. The conditions that exist in any society are entirely based on its value system, a moral framework that often twists us to become someone we're not. When the values of so don't match the moral lessons we learn through experience, we begin to realize that we aren't free to be ourselves. Many may sense there is something wrong, but examine no further because they're bound by their needs and desires. There are a few, however, unwilling to accept their fate, so they set out on journeys to rediscover themselves and to change their destinies. To break the shackles of society's values isn't easy. The path to redemption requires great conviction and tremendous courage. Yet once you understand the purpose for your journey, you will never again be satisfied with the person society had shaped you to become. Make it a habit to call time out on yourself a few times per day. It takes less than a minute to center, ground, and adjust your mind and body. Sometimes just recognizing that you're overthinking is enough to snap you out of it. In that moment, release the tension from your body as well. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, stretch a little bit. Doing this a few times a day requires almost no effort, yet it can be the fountain of youth and peace. That something feels distasteful, remind yourself, this diversity is here to help me figure out who I am, who one wished to be, and how I want to dance with life. It has value. They have value. Then shift to paying attention to what you do like, what you do prefer, what you wish to empower with your focused attention. Dear ones, don't waste your precious life force focusing on the rightness or wrongness of life or anyone in it. Something right for your growth and joy may be completely wrong for another, as surely as one diet is right for you, yet totally inappropriate for another. As surely as one outfit is right for you and your work, and totally inappropriate for another. And as surely as one belief is right for your soul's evolution and not at all useful to another. Be right for yourselves in this moment, and stop trying to find an absolute right and wrong. Love is the only absolute right. You are allowed to have your preferences. So give up the discussions of right and wrong. Stop analyzing who you should be in comparison to everyone else. Allow yourselves to have your likes, dislikes, and preferences. And we implore you to allow that to set you free from the bondage of insisting others agree or trying to agree with all others. You are unique, precious, and perfect in this puzzle of life. So is everyone else. As a human being, love is something you receive from others as well as something you give to others, as long as they are not your enemies. Love in this manner is transactional. As an energy being, love is who you are. Love is your nature regardless of whether others love or do not love you. As an energy being, it is not possible for you to change yourself into something that is the opposite of love. As an energy being, you enjoy being in a state of love. When you want to move your arm or your leg, all you have to do is think about it. Your mind creates a chain reaction that causes what was once a thought to become an exact physical response. Your mind and body are in close connection, so these actions manifest almost instantaneously. But it's no different than you thinking of and making a demand for a new job, or a new lover, or a vacation. Those things are further extensions of you, so they require a little more energy, but work the same way. Your thoughts will make them become physical adaptations of your demands. By trusting the process of your power, you'll allow your manifestations to unfold more fluidly. Everyone else can criticize you, however. You must not criticize yourself, ever. Core praise. The moment you criticize yourself, you will be out of alignment with your core self, as your self never criticizes you. Your frequency is no longer a match to the frequency of your core self when you criticize yourself. Your core self perceives you in your preferred version and loves you unconditionally. Your core self is always positive, does not flip-flop, and does not change its polarity under any and all conditions. Whatever your issues are, you must continue to be in alignment with your core self so that the solution from your core self can come to you. Release the old and rest. Enjoy the rewards of past efforts. You are half-falling, half-rising, shape-shifting as new talents, gifts, interests from your soul arise. Trust the higher forces working in your favor. They've got your back. You are being supported, protected, and guided. Release your lack of trust in the spiritual energies that are guiding you. Embrace the change and allow dreams to become your reality. You are growing, creating, and expanding in ways you've never done before. You need to shift your perception. Don't let the past or traumas be the driving force. Don't let your mind play games on you. For new doors to open, you need to go beyond any limits you